Alright guys, it has been quite a while since I had a video out here on YouTube. I've really just been busy with TikTok and Instagram lately. So yeah. Anyways, I'm going to try and go through all the new things that have happened. I honestly don't remember what all we had in the last video. I know the 10 was here, but basically this is going to be a collection update and stuff. First thing, you can see from the mess I've left, finished. Well, I'm done working on it for now this afternoon. This little hay wagon I'm making. My dad, when I was younger, built a trailer out of a spare wheel horse front axle we had. So I've had that laying around, and then we had this Part 60. So I took the front axle out of the Part 60, and I've yet to lock the spindles together. But I've got that on the back, and I've got the wheel horse axle in the front, and I still can't get a design that works between the tie rods and this front hitch for the front axle, so I'm done working on it for now. In other news, this is the 10. I think it's got a different seat since the last video. This bottom piece is actually off of an Allis-Chalmers 710 I had, and then the top's obviously original. Got that off eBay. I just got the Brenly hitch stuck on here probably 30 minutes ago, and I was trying to plow because we had 57-degree weather yesterday. It's in the lower 50s today, and then tomorrow is going to be in the lower 60s. But all this ground is just one big frozen chunk of ice. Just all of it's one big chunk of ice. So tried going through there. Main reason was these ags are off the 716 Allis-Chalmers, and I wanted to see how well this thing did with these, because I had plowed with it back in the fall with the turfs it had on it, and it did not perform very well. And I think they'll do pretty good, because it took me till the end of the second pass to realize that all this crap was frozen, because it was coming out in this big of chunks and not splitting apart like it should. Man, that weighs like 40 pounds. So anyways, but it plowed right through it. It only stopped maybe once or twice, and I just had to pull back on that lever to get some more weight on the rear wheels, and it kept chugging along. So anyways, this thing's been doing great. This thing hasn't really broke down at all. It's a really good tractor. I'll see if it'll start up here. Disengage the hydrostat. Thing's kind of a pain. Do a little choke. Anyways, 10 horse Kohler. Don't think I've shown this. The bottom of this muffler was rotted out, so I went and found a tomato can and cut it in half, and it happened to be the perfect size that probably could have just pressure fit up around here, but I didn't want it to backfire and blow that thing off. So I went ahead and put a few self-tapping screws in it, but that works really good. Quieted the engine up quite a bit, helped it run quite a bit better. These worn out Kohlers do like a little bit of back pressure while running, kind of like a two-stroke. Other than that, we got the 700 right here. I don't know if it was in stickers in the last video. There's a chicken. I had a Tecumseh on it for a while because I was trying to keep the engine somewhat original, but that just wasn't working out because it's a Tecumseh. So we got this 8-horse Magnum off of a concrete mixer, and my idea right now, we do have a starter generator Kohler that we're going to put in here that'll look just like that one, so they'll look identical, just different seats and different decals. But for now, what I think I'm going to do is go on eBay and buy one of the older style Case Series shrouds, and then just put that recoil on it, and then stick that on this engine and paint it red and everything, so it looks a bit older. A bit more period correct, but it'll still function fine and everything. But that engine runs great. I put a different main jet in the carb, because the carb was, it really needs a carb rebuild, but as bad as it is on the inside, just looking at it, it runs really good. So anyways, that's like the temporary permanent engine for this one. It'll probably stay in here for till spring or summer when we get around to throwing the engine we have for it together. This engine is going to get pulled out soon because it's rod docking to no end. I've got that trailer over there that I'm thinking about probably pulling in here because I don't have a whole lot of bench space, and just throwing the engine on that bench and pulling it apart. And we've got a new rod we can throw in it, and I'll probably do a cheap resurface of the crank just with some sandpaper. I don't know if I'll show how I do that or not, because it's not a great way to do it, but if you just need it done quick and cheap, it's an easy way to do it, and it works pretty well. So anyways, that's going to be coming in the next week or so. Maybe tomorrow if I get around to it. Otherwise, I'll probably be waiting until the snow's passed, which will be in another week. For the massive tarp over here, we had some roofers down the street, and this tarp, they cut off the roof, caught the wind, and ended up wrapped around our tree in our yard. And they left and didn't take the tarp, so I went ahead and drug it around back here to the shed, and it's probably a 30 by 40 foot tarp, so some solid slip and slide material for the summer. So it's just sitting here. I need to fold it up better, but the day I got it, it was really windy, so I couldn't really fold it up real well. My friend's Cub doesn't have any tires on the front of it, and I'll show why in a minute. My brother got this 110 for $100 off Craigslist. Didn't have a motor in it. Had the grill in it, but you'll be seeing here soon where that went. Yeah, that Tecumseh's just sitting in there for storage, and it does run pretty good. It just has carb issues, but yeah. My other Cub Cadet's still sitting here. This is what's left of the Part 60. Like I said, I took the axle for that one. The other 60, I've got the seat sitting right here. I'm gonna start working on this one soon. I just pulled it out earlier today to start working on it. So I need to get a new gear, plastic gear for the starter, because this one snapped. New key switch terminal. I need to throw a carb on it, and it should be good when it's cranking, because I just jumped it earlier, and that's how I broke the gear. But I just jumped the solenoid, or the key switch. I just put positive to the starter, and it sounds while it's cranking like it has no compression, but if I roll it over by hand, I can hear it, and I can feel it's got quite a bit of compression. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. I might have to take the head off if it doesn't have compression, but I'm not really sure. So that's all really for out here. Let me just double check, make sure I didn't leave anything here. Yeah, I don't think so. So over here, there's a Wizard. I need to make a video on it sometime. We have this, and I picked this up for $100 off Marketplace, and it didn't look like this at all. It was like this ugly mustard yellow, the whole thing was, and I'm not done painting it. I actually got a bad batch of paint with too much acetone in it or something, or it was too much oil in it, or petroleum-based product, whatever they use. I'm calling it oil. And it trapped the acetone in. It didn't let it flash out, and it ended up eating away at all the paint underneath on the last coat I was spraying, so that kind of sucks. But anyways, I got this home. It's been kind of chopped up. It's got a messed up dash and everything, but it's a 5-digit 1961, which I was really excited about. And when I got home, I got to looking at it, and I thought, man, that engine looks really big. And it is in fact a really big engine. It's from the same era, but it's got a big 12 horse Kohler sitting in it. So I'm going to keep the engine in it because I think it's cool, and it's got a ton of power. And that's the other weird thing about that tractor is I don't think the engine blew up. I think they just put it in there, but I'm not really sure why. 'Cause nothing's done like it was going to be a pulling tractor, but the clutch has no wear in it. The clutch looks brand new. The transmission's really tight, probably one of the tightest transmissions I've had. So all that's kind of odd, and all the bearings look perfect. So I don't know. I doubt the original engine would have blown up, but anyways, this one sounded like it was knocking. It turns out one of the starter generator brackets were loose and it was just vibrating around, so I just got to put the engine back together, but everything looks perfect on it. I guess we'll talk about this sucker. Ingersoll has, this one has, I don't remember if this one was in the last video either. We got it for $50, had a different seat on it. This is the first year that Ingersoll was at least branding these Ingersoll. I believe it's the same year they bought out the Case Garden tractor line, and it's the only year that they made the 3010. It was a 1989 only. I think they just found it underpowered and stopped making it after that year. But it's got hydraulic drive, not hydrostat, hydraulic, and then hydraulic lift. Headlights. What else has it got? I think it has electric PTO. I'm not sure. It's only got like 500 hours on it, but the kid was going to turn it into a pulling tractor, and so it had a blown up 12 horse Kohler block on it, K-series block with all the Magnum tins and everything on it. So that engine's sitting at the machine shop right now, and we're getting it bored out and everything, and we're just going to run the same thing in it. So it's going to be a bit of a sleeper, but it's going to be a plow tractor. We're not pulling with it or anything. It's going to stay the way it is, and this is all original paint. It is a really clean tractor. A couple scratches and stuff from being in storage. It sat outside for quite a few years. You can't really tell looking at it, but when we got there, it was sitting down in the woods. But really clean tractor. I think all we've done is pressure wash it, and I wet sanded the hood, and that's about it. Over here, this is where that grill went. This is my brother's 110. I don't remember what year this one is. It's one of the later ones. Anyways, we took the hubcaps off the 716 Allis-Chalmers and stuck them on here. This one also didn't come with an engine, but it was $50 with the deck. We went and got a $50 K181 8-horse Kohler recoil, as you can see, and it's out of an air compressor. And it runs really, really good. But we stuck that in there, bought a pulley for it. That's about end of story. It's been like this ever since. Oh, and we clear coated it too, so it got wet sand and clear coat. But he drives it around daily pretty much. So really nice little tractor. I like this one more than the other one because the other one got repainted at some point. I'm more into the patina tractors, but anyways, over here we've got wheels and there's a tire. Oh, so we got that John Deere 110 for $50, and it also came with these tires. It came a pair of these old Goodyears off of like a 200 series. Story was this lady's neighbor had moved to Kansas, or Kansas City, which is probably 4 or 5 hours away from me, and he couldn't move all his tractors. He was a big collector, and he had probably 20 or 30 of them. So he told his neighbor, or this is what she said, I don't know how true it was, but I was fine with it because we were getting cheap tractors. She told us that she had a bunch of medical issues, so he told her she could just sell the tractors and then use the money for that. So she didn't really know what she had, but we got that deck, the 110, and then these 2 of these rear tires for $50. Granted, that tractor didn't have an engine, although my friend got another 110 from the same lady 2 days earlier that had the deck, the engine, and all that for $75, I think. Anyways, this first deck is the 110 deck. This is off of a 70 that we got rid of, but I'm keeping it for the 60. It's like the 42-inch deck for the wheel horse, and then the cover for the 110's deck. And then back here we've got all the tires, and then up in there there's some more tires. This is all just recent. We've been kind of organizing. We got all the bike spec there. They're actually fairly organized, but we ended up just, it was probably 11 o'clock at night when we were doing this with our phone flashlights, and we just got tired and started throwing rims at them at the end. So I need to go back there and organize those rims a bit better. But then down here, the 710 was running good, and then I blew a coil on it. So I replaced the coil, and it promptly the next week blew the coil again. So I'm kind of tired of working on it, and I just started pulling parts off of it and putting them onto here because I'm trying to get this thing going. And I don't know if it's a problem with the valves or the timing, but I just cannot get it to run right. Every time it fires, it backfires out the carb, and then cranks the engine in reverse. So I would think it's firing too early, so I was closing the gap on the points so that it fires, or let me think, I don't know. I did something. I know it was right when I did it, but I did a thing to try and get the timing to work, and it's still not working. So I need to fiddle with the timing some more, because I didn't ever touch the valves. The valves, I just left them the way they were when I went to rebuild it. So it's got to be something with the points. So anyways, that's there. And then we got the 12 out here, and I think my brother and my dad were just working on this, and the valves looked fine on it. So something with the timing or something about the engine's not right. So we're still working on trying to get it going, and I'd like to maybe restore this one this summer, 'cause someone brushed it with like house paint and it's faded to this really ugly pink. And I wouldn't mind having a restored 12-horse wheel horse, because you know, that'd just be cool. But anyways, that's most of the tractors we've gotten in. We have had a couple that we sold since the last video. I'm trying to remember what all we've had. We had quite a bit. Anyways, this Cub, as soon as I get the paint work figured out and that engine all back together, it should be going back together here pretty soon. I'm gonna try and start making more videos for you guys, because I know I need to start making more videos on here. So I'm gonna try and have a video out with that tractor plowing if I can tomorrow. If the ground's not thawed out by tomorrow, we're having a huge blizzard come through, and it'll probably be another month or so. But other than that, I'll probably be throwing a rod in that soon, and maybe if it wants to cooperate, the 716 will be going. Anyways, I'm gonna try and get some more project videos out for you guys, even if they're short, just couple minute long videos, just little update videos on what's going on, because I really need to do more of that. So anyways, hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.